Aloha, I'm Seth Ladd, producer of Aloha on Rails, and I'm lucky to be sitting here today with Tammer Saleh, who is a presenter at Aloha on Rails. So thanks a lot for taking the time to speak with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So Tammer, you've just moved down here to the Bay Area and you start up your own consultancy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's about 6 months ago I came out here from Boston, where I was working with a great team over at Thoughtbot. And you know, since then it's been great. San Francisco's a great city. There's tons of tech here, and you know, lots of really great clients to work with.
So you're presenting at Aloha on Rails with Chad Pytel?
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about your talk.
Well, Chad and I are working on a book through Addison Wesley called Rails AntiPatterns. And it's essentially just like the small talk AntiPatterns. It's a lot of, you know, small examples of bad code and, you know, things that we've actually seen in the wild that's really important and how you fix it. So as part of this talk, we're going to be going through some examples of that kind of stuff, showing some bad stuff we've seen in the wild and going through a step-by-step refactoring. And also we're going to be taking audience participation. In a couple of days I'm going to be posting my blog how you can submit some really bad examples of code and, you know, show your shame and we'll fix them.
Awesome. So when in researching the book, how did you find the bad anti-patterns? This is real code you found really in the wild. How did you find it?
This is real code that we've worked on. You know, as a consultancy, you end up working with mostly two different types of projects, either the Great Green Fields projects, where you get to produce something new yourself, or the rescue missions, which are more common, where you're fixing somebody else's, you know, kind of broken product, or adding functionality to a product that sort of works. And those are where you get to see some really fun examples of, you know, terrible things that people have done.
What was one of the most common anti-patterns you've seen out there in the wild?
Oh, well, there's all different kinds, but the one that I've seen most recently that was really killing me is the using an active record model as an enumeration. So you have an active record model that has a set number of records in the database, maybe 5 of them. For example, color would be the name of the model, and you would have one record for each different type of color, red, blue, green, whatever. And then it would use that in associations. There's plenty of reasons that that actually we go into that's a terrible idea.
Now, specifically, these are enumerations that don't change.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're static data. They should just be a hash somewhere.
Like male, female. We're not going to come up with another one. Well,
right.
Maybe. I don't know.
But that's actually, I think it's really the root causes that are the problem. That some developers try and code for the future. They think to themselves, well, I don't know if we're going to be adding another color later, and you know, if we add another color, then I'll have to change the code. So it's much better if I can make this a model with administrative interface so that the client can add more colors as they need, and that's really not agile, and it's a terrible idea, both in terms of the code quality and the client's money.
So tell us, is there a moral of the story that you want someone to take away from, like a key point?
Yeah, I think the key point here is that refactoring is not just something that's a luxury. Refactoring should be considered part of your normal workflow, and that's not just to make your job more fun. That's really for the client's sake. Because if you don't refactor aggressively, if you don't follow the red, green refactor cycle, instead of just, you know, making your tests pass, you can make them pass and make the code maintainable and beautiful. If you don't do that, then you're just increasing your code debt, and that code debt's going to be paid off not by you, but by the client. If you have unmaintainable code, then it just makes everything you do slower for the entire lifespan of the project. And the longer you wait to clean that up, the harder it's going to be to clean that up. So I guess the moral of the story is to always be vigilant about finding the right way to write your code and to always refactor it and make it more maintainable.
Also, buy your book.
Also,
that would be the moral of the story.
Buy the book.
Excellent. You mentioned, you know, you're going to incur a debt that your client or customer is going to have to pay off. Interestingly enough, we have another talk at Aloha on Rails called Technical Debt, Rewrite or Refactor, and it's all about the decisions that you make which incur some level of debt, some opportunity cost.
Absolutely, and again, that's where the experience comes in. It's the experience to know, to make a good estimate of how much debt you're going to be incurring by not, because you can refactor, you know, forever and ever and ever. You can always be trying to find ways of making something beautiful. I mean, everybody's seen those plugins that have gone through a full rewrite 4 times, you know. It's like, there's a time when you should stop, and that's where the experience comes in.
So have you been to Hawaii before?
No, I haven't. I'm really looking forward to that.
What are you looking forward to when you come out?
Well, I believe that conferences are about two things. And one is being able to see the talks and really get to talk to the people who know about the technologies that you're dealing with, so that you can find out like what the real problems are with them, stuff that doesn't come out in the documentation.
Yes.
Oh yeah, well you don't really want to use this in production yet because we got this little bug that nobody really likes to talk about. And so the talks at Aloha on Rails are going to be great. Like I've seen the lineup and I'm really excited about that. But the other side of a conference is being able to relax with your peers in a nice environment, a nice venue. And Hawaii's really got that down, So just, being able to walk along the beach with some of my friends who I don't get to see very often. I'm actually bringing my girlfriend Heather into town. So nice. We've got a hotel room, and we're gonna be there for a couple of days beforehand, and that'll be a lot of fun. We'll just get to hang out on the beach.
Definitely.
In fact, we used your recommendation for the travel agency.
Oh, okay,
we got a great deal. We got
good deal.
5 nights stay round trip for 2 people. For $1,300, which I was really impressed with.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, definitely from the West Coast. I think people from the West Coast are going to find great deals, and I hope they all come out for sure.
So it's a vacation that I get to write off, as well as being an educational experience.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I mean, we're on the beach. The venue is like one of the best hotels down there in Waikiki. So thanks for taking the time for coming out and speaking with us today. I really appreciate it. I know we're all really looking forward to your talk, your book, and meeting you in Waikiki. So thanks a lot.
Well, that'd be great. Thank you.